Hey, and welcome to Intercontinental Group of Awesome and I-95 Games as we continue our series of Masks, Halcyon City, playing the Halcyon City Guardians. Halcyon City is the Halcyon City Herald Collection is a supplement for the wonderful RPG Masks: A New Generation by Brendan Conway, which we've been playing for quite a few sessions now. And the end, like we can see it, it's in sight. In March, we're going to be bringing this campaign, this chapter, this volume, if we go in comic book parlance, to a close. And we'll be picking up with a new game and new GM. So I'm very excited about that because I get to play. I always love getting to play. It's like fun in a different fun. And we had a heck of a cliffhanger. This was like part 1 of 2. I think it's Blackstone Under Siege. Castle Blackstone Under Siege is what this 2-parter is called. I think that's appropriate. If I'd named it that ahead of time, maybe things would have gone differently. So like it's one of those that happened post, like after we wrote the issue. And so we're going to do a quick intro of everyone, but oh wow, I'm very amused that we currently have a viewer who is on their bike. Hi, Jan. Just wow, bikes. Love bikes. Jen is like a bike expert. She could give a whole forum on bikes. But let's introduce our characters, and then we're going to jump straight into where we were last issue. Alex, would you like to lead us off? Please remind us of the character that you're playing.
Yes, I am Unisha, aka Armature the Brain. I am currently... I don't think I have as many of those tentacles as in the picture, because they are currently holding back a swarm of animated suits of armor. And downstairs beneath in the bowels of Castle Blackstone is my shame, Project Diffuse, which is being kidnapped by my alternate dimension cousin and Anil's not alternate dimension cousin.
It's a lot of cousin action.
Yes, I'm coming to the rescue of my shame, maybe. It's confusing.
It is confusing. I don't know what the GM's doing, really. Like, he did not read very much about this genius playbook that you're playing, the genius or brain or something. What is he doing? God, go home, GM. You're drunk. Thank you very much, Alex. Jen, please talk to us about your character.
Right now, I am playing Seraph, who is in the map room of Castle Blackstone with alternate dimension Hazit. She is a Janus, meaning that she has a second life, wherein she is her civilian alter ego, Ashley Banner, going to Hope Prep, trying to juggle that school life girlfriend balance while also doing superhero things. Letting her freak flag fly.
Oh, that's true. We need to figure out if you're going to embody that mask there, because that might benefit you in the next minute or so.
Yeah. I'm going to try to work that in.
Good call. And last but not least for this, and when Jan arrives, he's running a bit late. He is biking it. Just adore that. I don't know why I keep saying it. But anyway, Paul, please remind us of your character.
I am Anil, also known as Viridian. We are in my house, Blackstone Castle. My mom took some hurting at the hands of my cousin, Kavita, and I knocked a hole in the floor under Kavita and went down behind her into the wine cellar, and she is eventually taken off towards the map room, and I am following. I'm a legacy, and I'm a sort of a custom legacy. I'm a magic using legacy playbook.
It's custom, but we've consulted with big brains to make sure that we were following it. So I feel it's semi-official, right? We'll go with that, right?
Yep, sure.
Awesome. Good. Thank you all so much for reminding us of your characters. And so you guys have already set the scene very well. We have an encroachment upon Castle Blackstone where the family of Viridian lives. Viridian is currently the acting magister, the magus of he's a magus, and he is the magister of Halcyon City. And there has been an encroachment by his cousin Kavita, who I now have a picture for, and I'm just going to show you the picture because I like this picture. That is not the picture I wanted to show. That is where I wanted to show. And so here's our picture of Kavita. Oh, I always go the wrong way. I got a 50-50 shot and I always blow it. Technically, this is a tiefling because of the horns, but I'm just rolling with it because those horns look really dope on this girl. So there you go. There is our Kavita. And I've said several times of how he looks. So the War Machine look, there we go. That is effect. I'm going to go with the gray War Machine look. I'll probably at some point, take off the very obviously Iron Man stuff, but my photoshopping skills are mediocre, so I'm going to just run the game. But that's the picture I generally have in mind for the cousin and our cousin on cousin action. So we will begin in the map room. So the map room, for anyone that's just jumping in, if you are, wow, there's a backlog. Have fun, but we'll try to add editor's notes to help you out if this is your jumping on point. So the map room was recently introduced. It is an area of Castle Blackstone where there is a map of Halcyon City, a model of Halcyon City. One might say that it was inspired by the movie Beetlejuice, but they'd be wrong. It was actually inspired by the Dresden Files novels. But if you want to watch Beetlejuice, you can. And the magic of this particular model of Halcyon City is that it has a one-for-one, like a voodoo doll type connection to the city. And while the Magister has never used it to harm anyone, the potential could exist. And you can even, if you were to wait, see a few frames, stoplights change, cars move. This is an excellent way to keep an eye on the city without having to go out and patrol. It is also a very powerful magical item. And the map room, as we call it, is what seems to be the ultimate destination of Hazit, cousin of Armature, Kavita, cousin of Viridian, and Project Diffuse, the project that was created by Armature and has become her undying shame. The three of them approached from two different vectors. Kavita just walked in because she happens to be related to the family and had not worn out her welcome until this moment. And the others, Hazit and Project Diffuse, evidently modified a drilling machine that they either borrowed or stole from the Mole Men. The Mole Men are those creatures who live underneath in the underground beneath Halcyon City. To have the Undermountain King, the Mole King, and the Mole Princess are all members of that royal line. And this drilling machine probably would not have been able to penetrate underneath Castle Blackstone. So somehow it looks like it's been modified, and Project Diffuse was part of that. We see the drilling machine has cracked the crust underneath in the cavern, the caverns that lie underneath the wondrous Castle Blackstone. And we have a single panel of Hazit, the war machine, who has his own kind of mecha suit as he is facing off. Oh, sorry. Let me change that panel. Project Diffuse is wrapped up around Atlas, our fourth member of the team, and the two of them are fighting. Atlas has been ripping pieces and tentacles off of Project Diffuse, but it looks like Diffuse is accomplishing its goal, which is to detain, although it was ordered to destroy, but to detain Atlas. And then we see another panel in the map room where Hazit, as War Machine, is facing off with Seraph. And I think Hazit has jet boots on, and so he's just like a foot over. And Seraph, your wings. This area is pretty tight for you, unfortunately. So going high up and flying is going to be a very challenging maneuver. This is an area where the map or the model is the main focus, but there are also the shelves of books that line all the way around. This is an oval-shaped room. The doorway is slightly cracked and broken, where you had flown through and tackled Hazit as he was trying to get into this room to do something. You're not sure what. And now the two of you are facing off, and you've interposed yourself and stopped him from what he is trying to do. So we begin with you, Seraph, as Hazit says, you need to get out of my way. What we're doing is the right thing to do. I have no quarrel with you, Angel.
What you're doing could put an entire city of people at risk. And you have endangered the life of one innocent young woman just to fluster your cousin. You aren't getting this object, and neither is Kavita.
A shame. And then a little missile launcher comes down and aims at you, and it looks like he's just going to fire a missile at you, trusting that the map room's not going to be destroyed in the aftermath. What do you do?
What a dingus. Yeah, I mean, if we're in a room and it's tight, honestly, I'm gonna like kick or push or otherwise twist that missile launcher so that it goes somewhere that, you know, I and the map are not.
Nice. And of course, he doesn't know that you are really freaking strong. So he's thinking that he's got you dead to rights. Let's see you directly engage a threat. Go ahead and roll it. It is. Are you trying to? I think your ultimate goal was. Good question. Yeah, your ultimate goal is to defend the map in the room, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like he's
cool.
Changing. Isn't it unleashing powers? Because you're changing the environment.
Well, this is all fine questions. I think that your intent is that he wants to fire on you. He's not trying to blow up the room. You're trying to stop him from being able to fire on you, but also hoping to protect the room itself. Mm-hmm. So it really feels like, to me, I'm going to go with my gut and say you're directly engaging the threat. Does that feel fair?
Sure.
Because defending a person, like I could buy defending a person, but the map room isn't a person, so a lot of the options for defend don't
really matter.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, after all that dithering,
sorry.
Let's give it a roll. It's cool. No, we need to think this out.
Good deal. All right.
Also,
so roll with danger.
Yeah. Come on. Oh, a miss.
Oh, man. A miss. And there's no one around who could help you.
Well, I need 2 people around to help me, so.
I know. That's a lot of help. I don't see it happening. All right. So the good news is you get an experience point, which in this game is called a potential. And so you move to try to redirect the missile, and it turns out that was a sucker punch. Like he was goading you into that with that very object action. And he reaches under with his hand, and from the little iris that opens up, he fires out this like sharp whip that pierces into your side and starts to electrocute you. So I need you to take a powerful blow, please.
All right. Hey.
Oh, perfect. So you rolled a miss. You roll with conditions, and you are doing pretty well here. So as a low roll on that is the perfect, because you stand strong, you mark potential as normal, and say how you weather the blow.
All right. Let's see.
Do you want me to like page turn away and come back, or are you good?
No, I think it's a whip-like thing. So I think I just catch it, twist it around my hand, and yank it off of the warframe that he's in.
That is awesome. So you wrench it forward, it snaps, and you throw him completely off balance. He tries to kind of jet boot away from you, but you've removed one of his powerful weapons that was also.
And I'm just like,
his shiv.
This is how we're playing it, son. Everyone thinks I'm fucking useless in spaces like this, but they all talk like somebody who's never worn a pair of wings before. You're going down.
Hot damn, that is a pretty great statement. Oh, like, is that a move or is that just amazing text?
That's just me trying to affirm my mask identity.
There we go. I love it. You have definitely affirmed your mask identity. Anyone object? No? All right, then. You've affirmed your mask identity, which allows you to do what as the Janus?
It allows me to swap my masks label, which is Freak right now, with my mundane label, which is a small boost, but this is a PBTA game, so small boosts can count for a lot.
You ain't lying, sister. Cool. So let's jump up to that moment where we had cut off with a cliffhanger, where we had Armature surrounded by these empty suits of armor in the haunted mansion attack, as Seraph had commented last issue. And you had created some kind of magnetic force and using your tentacles to try to entrap as many of them, because Mooncaller is trying to bring the effective magical security, bring the spell back up to resume the protection of Blackstone Castle. And it seemed like you had successfully navigated, at least to protect her from the suits of armor, taking that danger to yourself. Then the gigantic gargoyle that we often have seen in the teleportation room came bounding through and has grabbed up Mooncaller, Viridian's mother, and is now currently like closing its fingers and trying to crush her. There is a hole in the floor near you, Armature, where you know that Viridian and Kavita crashed through, and they are continuing their sorceress battle. So you've got a choice here. Are you going to leave Mooncaller behind and try to help your teammate? Or are you going to try to defeat this gargoyle somehow?
I mean, it was a struggle, but Anil can look after himself. He was proving his Magus magnificence, whatever the term we came up with, and you know, okay, his mum can hold her own, but she's currently at a disadvantage, and I need to step in.
Okay, cool. So, what are you doing, Armature?
I mean, I don't have much of my tentacles accessed, and I've basically about got enough to stand and pick things up. I want to jump. I want to climb onto its back, and I'm going to kind of combine nearly all the tentacles I have into like a spiral to a point and try and just drill through its arm.
Nice.
I want to just break that arm off the hand.
Sweet. I love it. I think you are trying to unleash your powers then.
Yeah.
And the reason that's different is that this thing is trying to attack her, and you're trying to overcome that particular obstacle of her getting hurt real bad.
Okay, I'm unleashing powers. Nine.
All right. Also, on a 7 to 9, you can mark a condition, or I will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
I would like to hear how it's unstable and temporary.
Nice. So you pull all of your tentacles together, form into some kind of like a lance, or are you imagining it's like more like a drill? Like, what's the motion that we see?
Kind of drill. It kind of goes into it's rotating, and all the kind of cable, like the notches segments, they kind of, because they can adjust slightly, so they kind of separate out a bit more, so there's kind of a soaring edge to everything.
Nice.
Rather than smooth.
Sweet. So yeah, you start gripping. We see little bits of rock and stone chip away, and it looks like this is not. It may not be enough, right? You start to dig in, but it's still closing its fingers. You can hear the irk, onomatopoeia sound effect of Mooncaller, and then there is a moment when you suddenly, all of your light, like there's an entire panel of just this bright orange light, and we hear this roaring sound. And then you need to take a powerful blow, my friend, because you are being roasted by a dragon's flame.
Of course I am. And yeah, great. 9's good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good one. So taking a powerful blow. On a 7 to 9, you can choose one. Lash out verbally, give ground, or struggle past the pain, and mark 2 conditions.
Yeah. Well, I've got no teammates around.
That's true.
I mean, could I like let out over the comms a scream from Anisha?
Absolutely.
As the flame hits.
Absolutely. Why couldn't you? I mean, you did make.
I choose one. Yeah, so that's yeah. And do I have to make a?
You lash out verbally, provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition on them.
Yeah. I think. Do you think Anil would be guilty from?
I certainly approve of that choice.
Yeah, there we go. So there's a scream over the comms.
Sweet.
The flame hits.
Oh, that's wonderful. Cool. So you let out the scream. Go ahead and take the condition of guilty, please. And then I think we will just, the last bit of the panel is that we see the great red dragon that is Dai Ushi, as she comes forward and starts to rip apart this gargoyle. tearing it from limb to limb. The weakness, that weak point in the arm, it uses that to wrench it free. And now it's going to just annihilate this gargoyle. But we hear the scream coming through the headset as you are facing off Kavita, Viridian. And I think
actually, she was running out of the room at the end of the last.
You're right.
Section.
Thank you so much. Yes. So as you were watching Kavita, she said she's going to show you, and she is running from the wine cellar where you two had faced off towards the map room, taking several steps, then picking up into flight and flying away. And you hear that scream. What do?
I stumble for a moment, but even if Unisha got hurt somehow, my job here is clear. I'm not just working for me. So I am chasing after my cousin, who apparently can fly.
I know. What is up with this? You did not get that cool power set. Oh, so not fair. You should unleash your power, see if you can catch her in time.
I'm just running after her.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So you come into the map room, now join your teammate, and you see that she is facing off, going toe-to-toe and talking some mad smack to Hazit. And Kavita, she's going to run in and just desperately snatch her hand onto the map room. She's reaching for the spike, the Supermax prison. What do you do, Viridian?
I think what I do is I move my hand like a whip, like I'm throwing a whip, and I want to use sort of a chain of magical binding to latch around her and pull her back.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Cool. I think you are trying to unleash your powers here. Does that feel right?
Go either way, but yes, I will unleash. That's a miss.
Oh my. There's two teams in the pool.
If you can think of a way that Ashley can help, that would be fine, but
I can I'm not that far away.
That's true.
And I think, and I don't even have to use team from the pool. Because we've shared some moments of victory before. And I think, like, just at that moment, there's just, like, I mean, Atlas is still tearing into Project Diffuse, and there's probably, like, just a cluster of tentacles just flying through the air, like, and flying into that room there, hitting the cousin.
Kavita,
yeah.
Okay, that's a 7 then. So
Sweet. Okay, on a 7, you can mark a condition, or I will tell you how it's unstable or temporary.
I think hang on a second. I still can't see very well, so I have to switch to a different. I'm angry.
Nice. Cool. So what does this look like when you snatch this victory away from her, for this clutching for this thing? You try to bind her? Give me a little bit of what that looks like.
Well, I sort of implied it. It's as if I'm Zorroing her and just pulling it back like a green rope-like thing.
Nice.
Just whips around her.
I love it. So you lash her up, you pull her away from the map room. The We've got 2-on-2 here in the room, very tight. I'm going to swing out to Atlas. So Atlas, you just threw several tentacles into the room, saving one of your friends from their inability to stop a bad thing from happening.
Only by accident.
Whoops. And Project Diffuse, you've ripped quite a few tentacles off of it, and you see the tentacles kind of form up. I'm imagining that we're using like animation that's a little CG shaded, right, to give it a nice metal sheen, and has a pair of those red eyes that peer at you, and hear and the hissing, and the weird font that we're using gives a very metallic rasp to what it says, and it says, "You must destroy me."
I don't want to hurt you more than I am already doing. I don't want to upset your mother.
Nice, cool. So it's trying to this has influence over you. I don't think it's an adult, so I don't think it automatically has influence over you. So I don't think it can actually provoke you or use its influence to try to tell you how
Try
the
to
roll
provoke, but it's not.
but it doesn't roll dice. So I think,
Yeah.
Cool. So it has basically asked you to destroy it because of what it's being forced to do, and you're saying, I'm not going to. So I need you to directly engage a threat, because otherwise it is going to try to hurt you back.
Mm-hmm. Oh, come on, my character sheet's an opening. There we go. Sure. That's 10.
Nice when you have a +2. Changes things faux show. With a 10 on directly engaging a threat, you trade blows, and you get to pick 2 options from the list.
So I will try to resist or avoid their blows.
Okay. Smart.
And what I'm trying to do by like disassembling it and throwing bits and pieces left and right is just taking its like collective autonomy from it. I'm trying to like disassemble it enough, like not breaking it. I'm just trying to spread it out so that it doesn't have a cluster.
Cool. And so is that what option are you talking around? To take something from them? Is that what you're trying to do?
Let's take something
their
from them.
coherence?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Take their coherence, I guess. Yeah.
That's what I thought. I just want to make sure that it was that what I heard is what you were trying to say. Awesome. Yeah, you continue ripping this thing apart. We see other little pieces of the squid kind of scramble away, and there are subtle shifts of color for some of the pieces as they skitter away, and the mass becomes smaller and smaller. So we're going to swing back to Armature. So yeah, you've been burnt pretty bad. We see some like frayed edges of the suit, pieces of your tentacles kind of melted there, and Dai Ushi, as a great dragon, is helping you take down this gargoyle. What do you do?
I think I've moved around the back of the gargoyle. So I'm like attached to its back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I'm between Daiushi and, well, yeah, I've got the gargoyle between us.
Smart move.
Yeah. And I want to assess the situation.
Sweet. You should do that. You're really good at assessments. Yeah. Roll with superior.
11. Um,
Oh my. Wow. 11 is pretty good. That's 2 questions from the list.
yeah. Um, who here is most vulnerable to me?
The gargoyle there is something there on its back. It looks like it was placed surreptitiously. And from your position, you see that there is a small, like, ruby that has been affixed to its back. And it's not magic, it's technology that is controlling it, obviously. But if you remove that.
Yeah. Can I hold my other question for the moment?
Sure.
Yeah. I wanted to just wrap one tentacle around and just pull that thing off, if
Awesome.
possible.
Unleash your powers.
Okay. Do I get +1 towards?
You do. You absolutely do.
Windows, and windows.
Right?
+1. Just an 8. Windows and windows. Yeah, I think I'm going to mark a condition.
Okay, that's bold. What condition
Angry.
do you angry? Awesome. So we see Armature's face, Anisha, get a little bit more angry as you wrap the remaining tentacles around.
And I want to like hold up the little gem thing above the shoulder of the gargoyle as soon as I've taken it, and just yell over. It was being controlled. Stop with the fire.
Nice. The gargoyle
hold it with my hand. To be clear, I held it up with the tentacle.
Good. I got you.
You know.
The gargoyle falls to the ground, and you see Dai Ushi was like drawing a breath, and you hold up that ruby, and she stops, and there's a bit of smoke that comes up from her nostrils, and she turns and immediately scoops up Mooncaller and buffets her wings and starts to fly up, taking Mooncaller away. What do you do?
Deep breath. They're friends, whatever that means. I think she's safe, at least for now. That's a problem for later. I'm gonna just like retract every tentacle and leap down the hole before anything can attack me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you leap down the hole. A couple of animated suits of armor start walking after you like zombies. Their pieces of armor falling off.
Is it a hole straight down?
I believe so. Yeah, it was like a hole straight down into the.
Yeah, then I've got a few tentacles that are kind of coming out, and then they're like sparking down the sides, just kind of not exactly slow. Well, just slowing the descent a little bit, and so, but not like I'm still falling fast.
Cool. You land on this cobblestone floor surrounded by wine casks, these huge barrels of wine. It's musty in here, very dry and cool, and you hear the sounds of combat nearby, and you can look through the room where Viridian had chased after Kavita, and you see bits of motion that are happening there. You see Seraph's wings. You hear the low hiss of the jet boots from Hazit's mecha, his machine that he's wearing.
Okay, well, that's something I can deal with easier than magic. So, like,
nice, cool. So you take off. You take off that way. Kavita turns around to face you, Viridian, bound, her hands bound by the green light that you have used to stop her, and she says, "You idiot! You so much power, and you just sit on it. I can show you what to do."
Why don't you show me that you know how to shut up? I don't know how you decided that you were going to take over the world or whatever it is. It never works.
Sister Occultist thinks I'm better.
Huh. Sister Occultist doesn't matter to me. Sister Occultist told me that I was too weak, and then I solved a problem that even my father could not. I sent the quintet home permanently. I did that with my power, and I wasn't sitting on it at the time.
Are you trying to provoke her right now?
I don't know. It sounds like it, but I don't know what I'm trying to get her to do other than back off.
That could very well be a thing to provoke someone to do.
So yes.
You're provoking to show that you're the better, that you kind of removing this idea that she's better.
So provoke is mundane? No.
Provoke is superior.
Okay. Jeez. No, I don't provoke her.
5. It would take. Oh wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have to use. There is 2 team pool.
No, come on.
I'm just saying it's there.
I'm not going to take all of our. I'm not going to take all of our team.
Okay. All right. You're just going to eat the.
It's totally in character for
I love
Kavita to
it.
ignore him anyway. So
It is cool. So you say all of that to her, and then as Armature enters the room, we see someone step in, like from through some kind of dimensional door, and it is none other than Sister Occultist, as if she had been summoned. And then we cut back outside to Atlas, as Atlas was tearing apart the last bits of Project Diffuse. It doesn't seem like it's able to fight back against you, skittering away. Perhaps you broke the control that Kavita had over it. You're not sure. You see a single ruby there in the midst of all the pieces of tentacles that are no longer moving.
I mean, I hold the piece that I still had in my hands, and I sort of look at it and go like, see if it's twitching, and I'm like, good, stay there, and then like slowly start walking towards the map room.
Nice.
With like a bundle of tentacles in my right hand.
Who knows? Armature might need them. Anyway, I don't know. Do they work? Is this like a lightning cable USB-C thing, or they the same tentacle? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Cool. So you walk in, you see that. Actually, we haven't seen what's going on with Haze and Seraph, since Seraph talks smack to him. So I think
that's where I went to. I didn't go because it sounded like you were saying I went to join.
No, they're all in the same room. So
okay.
Yeah. They're all in the map room right now.
Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay,
cool. So there's this fight that's going on between Kavita and Viridian. Seraph, you have the awareness to know that Armature is here and nearby to your right. To your left, you see that Atlas is coming closer. Hazit is reading this situation and seeing exactly how outnumbered he is. You can kind of see that fight or flight calculation going on in his head. Because unlike War Machine, we get to see his face because I like expressions. So thank you for the thumbs up. So what do? You just affirmed your mask's identity and seems to have stymied him for just a moment.
Yeah. I'm going to roll in on him and show him exactly one of the dirty angel tricks that Seraph knows, which is that wings are big and opaque. So you can she has them sort of high up and forward, and then just sort of swings one in so that he can't see where her hands are or what's going on beneath, like, his own chest height.
Clever. I like it. Directly engage that threat.
Well, then she does it again and uses it as a screen to punch him in the face.
Sweet.
This is also a setup for a possible future tangled web is the name of the move, right? Dangerous web. Okay, cool.
Oh, hold on. Rich is going to glance at that to remind himself. Oh, yeah. When you reveal a trap you've left for someone using your powers roll plus your mask's label. On a hit, your opponent trips into it and you get an opening or opportunity against them. Do that. That is so cool.
All right, cool. Sweet.
Full hit with a 10. Okay. On a 10 plus, take +1 forward to pursuing it.
All right, so he thinks that I'm trying to knock him the fuck out, but in fact, I keep looking at his suit and going, that looks like a power conduit. That looks like a power conduit, and like plucking it off of the suit.
Awesome. Unleash your powers, because if you are able to disable his suit, we've seen it happen before. He's nothing but a man. The man's courage.
Well, I think that I'm describing a trap here.
I know.
I'm still resolving dangerous web.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
So I'm just saying that the trap is that if he tries to use too much power, his suit's going to fizzle out.
Oh, I see. I misread. Okay, I only half read. Okay, so take +1 forward to pursuing the trap. The trap is that you're effectively put a governor by affecting his power conduits. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So, yeah. Now, I might unleash my powers or directly engage with him again to try and whoop on him some. And try to get him to press him to try and lean on that power of the suit.
Sweet. So this may or may not change your action. He is going to try to get the hell out of here because he does not know Sister Cultus is stepping in. He's just seeing Kavita get trounced, and he expects that this is going to go very poorly. So he's trying to get out.
I'm not angry anymore, so I'll just let him go.
Sweet. So Atlas, that mecha suit guy who is the cousin of Armature, is flying past you, but it looks like he's trying to get away. Do you let him?
No. I mean, I'm not even angry, but I'm always angry. I mean, I'll definitely like try to just as he's flying along, is going and grab his ankle.
Directly engage a threat. Your danger is good, so.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, oh, well, I could have, I should have said that before, but I could have actually.
Could have said what?
I mean, I could have said that I could cause danger, cause collateral damage to make it to get more results, but it's fine. I mean, I'll take something from them, which is the power of flight or movement, for that matter.
Actually, it says here you can cause significant collateral damage. So all you got to do is just say, "I want to cause significant collateral damage."
If I need a third option, I will.
Okay.
I'll take something. So I'll take movement from them.
Okay. All right.
And I'll, resist or avoid their blows. And let's see, how would I cause damage? I mean, honestly, just grabbing their ankle and just slamming them into the wall, like.
Nice.
And that's
That's
also
nasty.
that's to just go like impress, surprise, or frighten as well. and then just a really calm, like, where do you think you're going?
Yeah, you slam him into the wall. Are you creating collateral damage or choosing not?
Yes,
not choose?
they're
Okay.
like I'm creating the collateral damage by slamming them into the wall.
Okay, so that is what impresses surprise. Awesome.
Yep.
Slam him into the wall. You've mashed his little missile thing. That's how
And
you.
The wall sort of.
Yeah. The wall's not good. The wall's not good at all. His little missile launcher that popped up, his pop-up turret. You grab that and mash it because you were able to resist or avoid his blows. And he just holds his hands up. He's like, I give up. I give up. Just
still holding onto the ankle, just like not saying anything. Just
jet boost like fizzles out. So we swing back into the map room. Kavita is still bound. Sister Occultist steps through some kind of dimensional door. And she has she's this long sleeve dress, like very voluminous sleeves, right? And her hands are slid into the sleeves. And she looks around. What a terrible mess.
I throw Kavita at her.
Kavita flies in the air and bounces against this kind of blue bubble that appears, and Kavita falls to the ground with a little boom and rolls over and slowly tries to get up. Disappointing, child. Very disappointing.
Yes, I'm disappointed in Kavita as well. She is family and yet chose to break the rules of hospitality as you have.
Have I? In what way have I broken the hospitality offered to me by your family?
You obviously knew this was going on. Did nothing to stop it.
I am not the Magister.
No, you're not. And you never were. And you never will be. For the moment, I am. And I'm telling you to go.
Very well. And then we see one panel, like a small panel, of the ruby that lies on the floor of the cavern, and it pops. Then we see a second panel of the floor with the pieces of armor strewn about, and the much larger ruby pops into 1,000 small pieces. And the dimension door opens up again. And Sister Occultist says, very well. You are the Magister. Come along, Kavita. And she turns to start to walk out.
Kavita stays.
Provoke her.
You said provoke her in her voice.
Yeah, exactly. I
was like, wait, why are you telling me to provoke Kavita?
Sorry, I should have dropped out of character there. I just got excited.
Jesus.
Man.
I can't roll today.
So the good news is that you get an experience point.
That makes 3.
Yeah.
For today, so far.
It does.
Sometimes it goes really fast.
So yeah, I just got another advance.
Cool. So as you were saying that, we see another panel, very bright orange panel. And then you see this gout of flame that engulfs Sister Occultist. And she is that the silhouette, with the weird kind of hash marks in the middle, as she's being burned very badly. And behind Armature is the giant head of Dai Ushi. She evidently just very expertly sent a gout of flame from her mouth and engulfed Mr. Occultus. And she falls to her knees and then falls to the ground. She is burned badly. A lot of her hair is a mess. There's that smoke trailing off of her body. Kavita recoils in shock. And the dimension door closes because she's not holding it open any longer. What do you do?
Without turning to look at the dragon, I know it has to be Daiushi. Without really turning to look, I ask if my mother is safe.
She will survive.
Then I don't want Sister Occultus to die. So, I can't. I set limits on myself. I can't teleport her from here, which is good. So, I refresh the binding on Kavita and try to find a way to get a stretcher so that we can get Sister Occultus to the hospital.
Okay. As you're organizing all of this, you guys hear the drill machine start up. What do you do? Hazard is still right by your feet, Atlas. He ain't moving. You've broken bones.
No, I still holding the ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to rush over to Hasid, ignoring anything he's going to be saying, and just start connecting into his suit.
As you walk up, I will hold out like a bundle of tentacles to you.
I take
almost like a bouquet.
Yeah.
Bouquet of tentacles.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're my love. No.
And I want to access his suit. I want to figure out if he's remote controlling that thing. And
Cool. Go ahead and assess the situation. Hold on. I think unleashing power still feels right. Sorry, I'm having move confusion today. I will do better.
I have got a influence with him, so that gets me 9.
Nice.
Unless anyone wants to help with a twist of the ankle. I don't know.
Does the 9 include the influence?
That includes the influence, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll help back on by indeed exactly like you said, twisting the ankle a bit. Just using a team from the pool because I don't have fancy stuff for you.
Cool. Okay, that takes you down to a team pool of 1.
Yeah, so that gives me a 10.
You're able to access and see that no, he was not controlling Project Diffuse.
He wasn't controlling Project Diffuse.
He was not.
Is he controlling the drill?
No, he is not currently controlling the drill.
I said you have to look for another ruby.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Jen?
I said, guess you have to look for another ruby. Although,
Hasit, who is controlling Project Diffuse?
His eyes kind of glance over at Kavita.
Kavita?
Sorry. What the heck? Sorry. Wow.
Yep.
Kavita, thank you.
Aye. Okay, I'll leave Hasit. He's before I kind of walk away, I power down his suit completely.
You got it.
Like it's like just a stone that he's wrapped in now.
Sweet. And so we're going to move to bio break. The last panel before we hit the staple here is the drill machine taking off, and it's controlled by the remnants of Project Diffuse if they get the heck out of Dodge.
I would also like to say that one tiny little panel of Unisha's face as she looks towards Kavita with a kind of, right, I'm going to get answers.
Nice. Cool. It is 28 after. We are going to take a 7-minute break. So we'll meet back at 25 till. Everybody good? All right.
sounds good.
If I'm a little long, don't worry about it. I'll be back.
Okay.
So are you level 5 yet?
Oh, who, me? No, I've only taken 4 advances.
I just need 1 more XP for my 5th.
Nice. I'm 3
After
from
that
my
one
5th.
after that one weird session where I assume we got 5. That's 5
Right.
advances. Yeah.
My goodness. Yeah, Viridian is clearly our XP horse.
Oh yes. Oh. Yeah, we were
Because-
looking at the old. We did a campaign before, and we did 14 sessions in that, and we went. We were just getting into.
Yeah, we were 1
fifth.
away, wasn't it? Or was the
After
next
1 away,
we
yeah.
did?
I need 1 XP.
Yeah. And I thought we were doing pretty good at getting the XP then.
Well, I mean, I did select specifically more towards like XP gaining stuff now.
Mm.
The outsider has fewer of those.
Yeah.
Now, whenever I comfort someone or someone comforts me, XP.
What's your? Because you got another thing. Was it? What's the other rival love thing that you chose?
I can do 3 things.
Yeah.
I can comfort and support them better. Well, I just
Both
as well,
ways, yeah.
but to get XP and other stuff. I can defend them with danger instead of whatever you normally use.
Savior.
Yeah. And I can pierce the mask in a I can ask a open question, but in return they get to ask me an open question, or the other way around actually.
Yeah, I want to see that happen.
Yeah, I could have done it last session, and
Yeah,
I
I
realized it
remember.
like 10 minutes after. I'm like, it's too late now.
Yeah. So, I just realized something. Looking at my character sheet and counting my advancements, I'm short a label. My sum of labels is 2, and it should be 3.
Holy cats. I wonder if that happened recently or if that's been something we've been doing for a while.
I don't know, but I'm going to leave it up to you, Rich, to declare what gets nudged up.
Just raise one that you like.
Yeah.
Here we go. I upped your freak. Does this sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, cool. I mean, you could totally move whichever one. If you had one in mind that you really wanted, I should have caught that before.
I really didn't have anything in mind.
You haven't brought it up to 4 yet.
I haven't taken any stat increase advances,
You've
actually.
been taking moves.
I usually try to take moves first because they're a lot more interesting.
Normally I do too, but the pool is a little bit less interesting moves.
I do like the fact that in masks, a lot of the taking a +1 also included something else.
Yeah.
They're not just that, because I always find that a bit boring as well.
Yeah.
Well, this is also you get to rearrange. Like if your labels are very far from what you want them to be, you can just go like, I'll take a +1 and put them the way I like them.
No, that's cool. Both of my +1 options for advancement are also like things that don't make much sense for my character yet.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was like at some point my mundane was like 2 and whatever, and I was like, look, I'm 7.5 feet tall. Even though I might act very mundane, I can't be that mundane. So I was like, nope, this is a good time for rearranging the labels.
Yep.
I'm pretty excited. Someone has offered to actually the someone is JD, who played in our Dune. He's offered to run a play-by-post masks game for me solo.
Cool.
So I have made a character and I'm quite excited about that.
What playbook are you going to use?
Let me go refresh myself because I should know that off the top of my head.
Yes, you should.
Yeah.
We haven't started yet, so it's not really firmly fixed in my mind.
The one with the powers.
Yeah,
That's
the one with the
heroine. Yeah. That one.
The Reformed. I'm sorry, Paul played a great Reformed, and I've always found the playbook pretty fascinating. So yeah, playing a Reformed, a former sidekick to a supervillain that now calls themselves Exploit. I thought that was a pretty cool name for a hero. Cool. So, just speaking from a meta level, this is a perfect opportunity for triumphant celebrations. So before you go into sadness, being upset, and angry, everyone
It's a good thing
except
you adjusted our course if you away. You know as well.
I just wanted to remind you guys that sometimes your victorious celebrations are very sad.
You think?
They tend to. Oh, they have been recently. Like at the saddest party.
That's just so funny. I know that Hazit is Middle Eastern, but dang it if I didn't find the coolest pic of War Machine when he was played by Cheadle. So that's gonna be the pic I use. I just love that pic. It's so good. It's really
In my head, I am always imagining the Crimson Dynamo armor, like the really bulky, bright red.
That's super cool. All right, I'll do some Google searching for that. Crimson Dynamo armor is pretty great. Pretty great. All right. So now that I've queued you guys up,
Clearly, we've already gotten Sister Occultist to a hospital.
We are like high-fiving over her just smoldering corpse.
No.
yeah, you guys can easily get Sister Occultist off. She is comic book hurt, which means that you can get her to the ward that exists in Halcyon City General, if I remember correctly. So she'll be airlifted out. You find, well, I mean, I was kind of fast forwarding a little bit, but I don't need to. Do you guys want to play through a moment checking up on Mooncaller, that kind of stuff, or are you cool with me glossing over a little bit to set up?
I don't need to do the moment by moment.
If you say that she's fine, then she's fine. Good.
Yes. I would, however, like to make sure that we get Kavita and Hazit to whatever detention facility, or I don't know if they go directly to the spike or not.
I think it'd be great if you deliver her to the spike, because that could be pretty interesting based off of things that you guys saw during your travel here.
Yes,
that might be interesting.
When we arrive at the spike, can I be leading behind her seat, kind of like cables around his wrists, and behind me, I'm just like my tentacles all spread out and just dragging this pile of armor parts.
Cool. I think that's the scene, right? We just show, I don't know what vehicle you guys are in, but does the Magister have any kind of magic car? Magivan?
He just teleported us just outside the spike, right?
I could do that, or I mean, there is the van just on. I could teleport into the van.
I like the van to have the seat. I like that image, so I want that to happen.
Actually, yeah. Can I just adjust as the van pulls up and opens the back? Just all the parts just get knocked out onto the floor. There you go. I'm disrespecting his tech.
So mean.
Because that's
Rude.
the best way I can insult him.
That's harsh.
And he may or may not have sprained or broken his ankle. I don't know how that happens.
Actually, yeah, is Atlas carrying the seats? Because I'm
No,
happy enough with
I'm
the
fine with you
circle.
carrying him, but it's just
Yeah.
like
I want to like carry him past Atlas as I walking past Atlas. So it's I don't know.
just waving at the seats, like bye.
So what does it look like when you bring in Kavita, Viridian?
She's got it's still the that sort of lasso kind of thing around her wrists, which are bound together. And I'm just sort of I don't imagine at this point there's a lot of resistance left, but I'll tug if I have to, but not any harder than I have to. It's gonna take me a while to I want to get her behind bars before I really hurt her, which is entirely too strong a possibility right now.
Cool. So you guys go through the process of filling out a little bit of paperwork. They do take both Hazit and Kavita off of your hands. They're not in the they're not in the habit of arguing against supernaturals, superpower beings who turn over folks that are bad. They'd rather hold them and figure stuff out after the fact rather than challenge them and say, we're not going to take these villains until you prove they're villains. So you notice that there are, as you guys are there are a lot of people who are coming in to the spike. Like there seems to be a general level of tension. People coming in like off-duty members of the security force are showing up in vehicles and moving quickly and getting quickly dressed and heading into the spike. But the guards that are taking your affidavit, taking your statement, they're calm, collected, just doing the regular cool thing. Seraph, your phone is like you receive a text, another text, third text. Like
I'm blowing up.
You are.
Yeah. I'll look at it.
They are from an unknown number. And it says, call me. Please call me. Please.
I call.
Sweet. So you call the burner phone and you hear a girl's voice that you recognize as she says, Seraph, this is Seraph. And you recognize Safia. You recognize Safia's voice.
Yeah.
I need your help. Bad.
All right. Where should we meet?
Do you remember the place where we first met?
Yeah.
On the roof.
Okay.
Thanks.
I'll be there in 10.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I did interrupt the celebration. Damn it. My plot machine. Damn it.
How about just I ditch while people are celebrating? I don't know.
That sounds fun, but you did do some awesome stuff.
It's true.
Maybe we flash back to the drive in the van. Damn it. I'm terrible.
Rich.
Keep you guys up and then I blew it.
Just needed to wait 2 minutes.
I know. Oh. So while
Restraint.
Seraph is I know I got excited. Well, Seraph is making a phone call. What do you guys do?
If it weren't called Share a Triumphant Celebration, it would be a lot easier for me to think of something to do.
Okay.
The problem for me is that this does not feel like a triumph. It feels like my house has been trashed by my cousin with the assistance of someone that my father has trusted for years.
And your mum's.
And my mom was hurt. So I'm not triumphantly celebrating. At least not yet.
Well, I think I'm up front with Anil in the van and I'm like, and I kind of referencing him having to go off on his own, leaving his mum, and like, I'm sorry she got hurt, but I did what I could, and I wasn't going to let anything happen to her more than it did.
Thank you.
I hope you were able to. I hope you were able to, keep your head in the game down there.
I got pretty goal-oriented there for a bit, but thank you for taking care of her.
And to be meta, do you think you could have done it without me? Like,
so let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that.
Oh.
I would have been torn had I not known that you were there to help her if anything happened. So, no, I could not have done it without you.
You get influence.
Okay.
If they say you give influence to me.
Okay.
So
have some influence.
Thank you. My brain is trying to wrap myself around that sentence. That means
you're
probably can change my stats.
No, the other way around. You can change mine.
Thank you. Yeah. I just nod to that, like,
Can I continue that little scene?
Mm-hmm.
While I'm not terribly triumphant in the van, I am vulnerable. And the problem with my family, my legacy, the Arcanists, and it's maybe summed up best in the word occult, is that everything's hidden behind a drape. Everything's veiled. And even seeming allies, even seeming friends, there's so many years of history and resentments and so many hours of study that sometimes things break. And this life, this magister thing, I don't know I don't know that that's what I want to be when I grow up.
Hey, we're in our teens. We've got time. Just because I say you don't have to be it. You don't have to be it.
That's true. So I just gave you influence again, and but you don't. If I mean, you can pretend.
Yeah. I will just mess with all your stats.
Yes.
Oh no, I can't do anything to your mundane.
Nope.
No. Phew. I'm gonna bring your freak down. I'm just gonna do one shift. And your savior up. No, you're superior. Because I saw most of your what was the term we came up with last session? Or that you came up with? Your
Magnificence or something?
No, orthogonal.
Orthogonal, yeah.
Yes, that. I Anisha was impressed with that stuff. That was you. I mean, you were not powerful, but you were clever. You were definitely clever.
I keep doing the wrong thing. Here we go. Back to 1 savior. And 2 superior. Good. He's done. Thank you.
Anything else going on in the front?
I'm curious what's going on in the back seat. You guys are menacing the perps.
I mean, we're not intending to. We can't help it. We're just so cramped. With Atlas being Atlas and Seraph and her wings and
Like you got Kavita in the middle. You made her sit on the hump in the middle, right? And she's all bound up by green magic.
Yep.
Looking surly and upset.
And of course, there's what remains of Hazit's suit.
Can I just add one little detail?
I love that question.
Yeah, just the whole time that the conversation in the front was going on, there was a few tentacles that Atlas gave me. I'm just like sitting holding, kind of like the whole holding a cat on my lap. It's just unless anyone mentions it, I'm not gonna say anything about it. I'm just sitting there holding it on my lap.
Just stroking it.
Possibly stroking it, yes.
Nice.
Perfect.
Love it.
Becca Blofeld.
Yeah.
Check over Atlas.
The villain, guys. No, I mean, not really.
Lol. You okay? How'd you come through that fight? All good?
Yeah. I think we did well. You did well. You're strong. You're stronger than you look.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Like flying. But you. I'm impressed.
Thanks. No, everyone just looks and they see, oh, pretty, oh, flying, and that's sort of where they stop at making observations. And it's both really annoying and really helpful.
People underestimate you. I get that. People underestimate me too.
Yeah.
Not for my strengths. People don't underestimate my strengths. They got that sort of down.
That is what they pay attention to.
Yeah. Well, that was very cool.
Yeah.
We make a good team.
Agreed. I'm feeling really good about this team. Wow. Just wrecking up Castle Blackstone. The goal, I say, like pointedly looking right at Kavita.
I broke a wall.
Oh. One of those caverns downstairs? Nobody's going to notice.
Probably not. I hope it was not a load-bearing wall. It may have been. They'll have to fix it. You know,
Yeah.
it was for a good cause.
Gosh, I guess we need to get in touch with the Magister soon, just so that he can check in on his castle.
It is in front.
Oh, you're right. Well, I should be more specific.
Neil actually turned his head when you said that.
Oh snap.
My bad. But yeah, do you want me to ask in character, or do we want to sort of elide that?
But getting in touch with Justinian?
Oh no, the Janus triumphant celebration move, whether Atlas sees Seraph as Seraph or as Ashley.
I mean I think that's something that we can better do out of character, I guess.
Yeah, it can be a kludgy question. It can also be like a direct right on the nose question.
Oh yeah.
For this.
I mean, whatever you prefer. If you want to do it in character, I'll answer it in character.
And let's do it out of character this time.
All right. I mean, considering that Atlas was how impressed he was with your strength and whatnot, I think he sees you more as the person wearing the mask at the moment.
Okay, cool.
But him being as impressed with your strength as he is, and you know him being impressed with people being strong in general, like he was also getting. You're getting back into the love position at the moment.
Oh, well, all right then. Cool. And that covers your full triumphant celebration, doesn't it?
That does mean that you get because anytime I make someone my love or rifle, they get influence over me.
Oh. All right. And I have had a pretty firm pattern of influence over you for some time, so I've still got it, and then I get it again. So I get to nudge.
To roll over.
Get to nudge your labels. Yeah, I think I'm going to nudge your freak down and your superior up.
All right. Up, down, up, and superior up. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you get potential from your person wearing the mask.
Yep. Already marked. Cool beans.
That gets you near your 5th, right? Or closer to...
That is my 5th.
Okay, cool.
I'll have a look.
I am still 2 XP away.
Man, Was it Jan that would complain about not getting like the
Yeah,
XP not work?
I did, and because that was I didn't get any XP for 2 sessions, and then I got a pity roll.
That's true. It just
roll
all blew
over.
up. We figured out
And
out
then
how
the
to
session
engage.
and then the session after that, I suddenly got 5 XP in one session, which was super weird.
Games, man.
And yeah, the last 2 sessions I got like a normal amount of like 2-ish, 3-ish.
Yeah. And Seraph's had people like helping themselves to her secret identity, but not really anybody to reveal to for a while. So.
That's true. I got to keep a mind on that. Yeah, that's a good point. Good note. Sweet. Anybody want to do anything at the Spike, the Supermax detention facility for supervillains?
You can't dangle things in front of us and not expect me to hack into secure government service.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Not the most brainy maneuver, but I don't know. It's important.
I just want to know what's happening with and I mean, I could ask questions, but why ask when you can invade the privacy of a prison?
Well, as long as you're consistent. I mean, that feels.
Is this assessing or unleashing?
I think it's unleashing.
Okay. Well, a good thing there's no blowback on hacking into governments. And good news.
Good news. Good news is that you get an experience point, which in this game is called potential. And I am going to just look for a moment. Whatever should happen there. So what does it look like as you try to? Is this a thing where you're remotely trying to hack? Do you use your tendrils to hit an access port or a computer or something?
I mean, I think I would first kind of send a ping out to see any kind of wireless systems if there was a kind of easy opening into that. It might be fairly, I don't know, it might be a closed system, I don't know. But if so, I would.
So what you find is there is a general use internet, but it is firewalled completely from anything that has any sensitive information. That it's purely there as a low bandwidth. This is so certain security guards can keep up on fantasy football games and the like.
Okay, then I would cable into. I would one of my legs would just become thinner and thinner and thinner as something is just burrowing into the ground to find a hard line.
Sorry, just recently having watched Monty Python, The Search of the Holy Grail for the first time, the moment of the Herbert, the young son, who's got the 2 guards in his room, and he goes over, picks up the bow and arrow, and it just fires out. For some reason, that's the way.
Just smiling and nodding.
Yeah, you're just smiling and like, I'm totally cool here, as you fail horribly at anyone missing that you are doing bad things. And what happens is that you start to unravel the information. Like, you start to spool up some of the data, and you get a few emails scattered across. Start to scan it. You see that they are getting upset because there has been an escape. And they're working through all of the camera feeds and the like, trying to understand what's going on. And that is when you guys all see that there is a gentleman who just seems to appear as like 3 panels where there's nobody standing behind armature. Then there's this vague outline of someone standing behind armature. And then there's a man wearing a black suit with slick black hair, appears to be Asian American. And as a legacy, I believe that you would know him, Meridian, as Mr. Everywhere. And he puts his hand on your shoulder, Armature, and says, "Would you please stop?"
My leg just thickens back up to leg thickness. And like it's all the little displays I've brought up that I was looking at just go ping, 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 ping out of existence. And like, sorry. I won't do it again.
I would hope not. You have a great deal of potential, young lady. That potential worries me.
Thanks.
Then he will walk out of the room. You now, there is a man by the name of Mr. Everywhere who has influence over you.
Okay. Well, he's an adult. He has.
That's true. That's true. He should shift your labels. I think he's calling you a danger.
I will accept that.
Okay. He's calling you a danger. And he's not going to shift down your mundane because that's not what he wants. But he is going to shift down your superior because he doesn't want you feeling superior.
The danger's up.
Superior down.
I got the right. Nope. There we go. Yeah, total of 4. That's correct.
All right. Well, that worked out well for me.
Sarah's just like, who was that? Where did he come from?
What does Viridian know about Mr. Everywhere?
Mr. Everywhere is a surveillance expert. He has a preternatural ability to be quote unquote everywhere. Your father's notes are that it is some kind of temporal magic, but he hasn't been able to confirm.
Ooh. So I will answer the question. That's Mr. Everywhere. And, well, he kind of literally is just what it says on the tin.
Wow. Huh. That's super on the nose, but I guess it's good that he's working for Aegis.
Yeah.
I think.
Yes.
Huh.
Not yet.
Yeah. Let's put that in quotation marks for now.
What, the good part?
Yeah.
You mean like he's omnipresent?
Unclear. But
Are you omnipresent?
He's gone, so probably not.
Yeah. That was my...
No response. That's just the kind of response somebody who was omnipresent would make. I'm on to you.
Good point. Well, I've done lots of things before that would probably have annoyed him, so I'm going to guess no.
Well, yeah, but you haven't necessarily done lots of things in the Supermax supervillain prison.
No. No, definitely not.
Anisha, just check that room that you made for me. Would they be able to get in there?
Yeah. I think I might need to make another door for you because
No. Oh, yes, but
I don't think you can go through the. I think my uncle and aunt would not be happy with. They like you, but
I understand.
you going through the shop every day might.
I get it, sure. But I mean, I just want to make sure that Mr. Everywhere doesn't show up in my room.
Oh,
Does that mean you're moving in?
oh,
Yes, I think so.
Okay, yeah.
I
Planning, noises, gears turning.
I
Wait.
appreciate it.
Where do you want your front door?
I mean, you know, at the
I mean, I
front.
might be able to make a suitcase for it, but then you'd have to plug it in.
Huh?
I don't think I could make the power supply. Well, you could carry it, but I don't think you want a backpack that big to carry around all the time.
I don't. What do you? He's like Atlas is just super confused. Like, what do you mean? Where do I want my front door? Like at the front, yeah. And then all that talk about his suitcases and like he's just like. Oh.
Do we have a cut to a
Rooftop.
bit later of a door that's
Yeah.
set up somewhere?
Let's do that. Let's
Is it
cut
a
to the
parent
door.
space or is it? It could just literally be outside. My uncle, my
On the
Grant
rooftop
shop.
of your on the
Yeah,
rooftop
yeah.
of your shop.
yeah, it could be on the roof. It could be anywhere. I just need. I mean, that would help because I could just plug it into the same power supply.
Yeah.
Or it's
And then every now and then
or
all that
it's
happens.
a door in the back alley that like says maintenance, and according to the plans of the building, it would end up opening directly into the furnace or something if it wasn't a dimensional
Yeah.
hoodly hoo. And it's like a combination key and fingerprint security deal.
You can have like a door handle that has like a insane
Of course.
tensile strength.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And thumbprint.
Is there anything Viridian wants to do before we jump over to the meeting with Seraph and Safia?
No. Let me think. Do I want to attempt to subvert the security of this? Nope. I'm good.
And then the
Yeah.
magistrate tried to break in.
Hey, I
Yeah.
didn't break in. I just had a little look at some emails. And
Also, Seraph does take a moment to offer Viridian, like, hey, if you want to spend the night at my place, like, our couch is open. I'm sure my mom would be cool with it.
I need to check in back at the castle, but I might take you up on that.
Okay, cool. And she doesn't like verbally mention, but boy, yeah, just being in a castle by yourself after an incident like that doesn't seem fun.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. And then, yeah, let's do the rooftop meeting. Anybody who wants in, just like raise your hands because it's pretty easy. Just be like, Seraph told everybody.
Yeah, you guys can all come if you wish.
I would certainly like to go.
Then let's do it.
Anil welcomes thinking about anything else at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweet. So that's great. That changes the permutations of her arrival, but that's a-okay. So you guys, we start off and there's a panel of all four of you on the rooftop we still like we see the baker's shop. There's a couple of like pieces of tape. There's obviously brand new glass that's been put up in the windows. Like all the repairs are nearly finished for that place that you guys had trashed a few issues ago. And there's a goodly amount of people who come. Like the populace is walking. This is one of those areas that people just kind of walk from shop to shop. Like they might go and check out a few bric-a-bracs in one particular area, head over here and have some yogurt or something like that. And there's a little coffee shop on the corner, and it's not Starbucks. There's like no big signs. Everything's downtown, like old small town downtown-y feel. And so you guys, there's a couple panels of you, and then pop Safia appears, just kind of pops in. She has that normal little pink will-o'-the-wisp thing that announces her arrival, and she steps in, looks around, and seems nervous for a moment. But then she says, "Yeah, this is your team. This is your team, right?"
Yep. Team Safia, team. I have I'm gesturing with one hand, and I have a bag with 4 or 5 elote in it in the other.
4 or 5 what?
Mexican grilled corn.
We
Nice.
don't have that in Europe.
It is very good.
It's very good.
She walks over and will take a piece and kind of picks at it. It's obvious though. She doesn't look like she's. That's something to keep your mind off of what's going on. Maybe this is good. Maybe this is good. Listen, I have a friend who's dying, and I don't understand what's happened. And I need your help.
This is Cypher, right?
Mm-hmm. The guy who screwed over Coppertop, who you guys hate.
Did
You don't have to sell me on this idea of helping somebody not die. So you don't have to drive it there.
Cool. Okay.
I'm
Good.
dying how?
I don't know. These black veins started running. He started choking. I was able to check his air passage, everything, and he's just in a lot of pain. He can't eat. He can't keep anything down. He's in a lot of pain. I'm not sure what's going on. He says it's not any tech that he knows.
I think I would share a glance with Anil as
I raised an eyebrow, and we all saw them when we did our interdimensional zip zap, right? So
He looked fine then.
He did.
So I assume this happened after you broke him out of the spike? By going the long way through an extra dimensional space?
Oh. So Scythe said that they wouldn't want to admit that. It's out?
No, we saw you. We were going the other direction.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, I pulled him out, and he kind of made it look like he was still there for a bit, but I didn't think it was going to last for long. Scythe's always been a little overconfident.
They're definitely onto you.
Yeah.
That's
fine now.
They were pretty busy back there.
I mean, we were going to blow town, and I was still taking him, but the moment we got to the border, it got worse. Like he stopped breathing, so I brought him back. I don't really understand what's happening.
Did he get better when he came back?
Better than he was when we tried to leave Halcyon City. Yes. He's not better. He's still really, really sick. He's still getting worse. But he flatlined.
Could be some spike tech.
What if you get them closer to the spike?
You won't. I don't think he'll go for that.
Closer. I don't. My parents don't live far from there.
That sounds like a good beginning of a plan. How about we go get him?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to look at this.
Okay. Listen, I've risked everything for him. So I'm not letting him go back. That's not on the table. I mean, it's not.
Okay.
One problem at a time.
Yep.
First, get him out of danger zone.
Like he's got a danger shirt and he's talking about danger. I love it. Danger. Lean back. Let's see the whole shirt again. Do it. Danger zone.
Danger zone.
Cool. So she says, okay, let's hold hands. She kind of rolls her eyes like she's not really big into this kind of thing. She does move over to hold your hand, Seraph.
Sure.
She seems to super trust you. So, cool. So you guys form a ring, and she pulls you through into the bedroom that we saw in the last page of the previous issue. And you see, it's a panel, right? So there would be a thing of like little wavy things. He is not doing well. Little wavy things that smell like he's in sweat-soaked bed sheets. Say that 10 times real fast. You probably do better than I just did. You could see obvious black veins at his neck coming up towards his eyes. His eyes look very like one almost cataracted over. And he barely lifts his head. And he says, Seth, you should have told me we were having guests. I would have cleaned up. And Safia says, yeah, just stop. You're not as funny as you think you are. Come, go. We're going to move you closer to the spike. That's not a good idea. They're going to start a perimeter search.
Just the house. That's you can use my bed. It's big.
He looks at you. I'd hope so. So what do you guys do?
It's comfortable.
Hands out again.
Yeah, I'll ask if there's anything that Cypher wants or needs to bring with. And
He looks over at the pair of go bags that they had ready to go, the orange jumpsuit that has a spike on the back of it, and he says, "This is the go bags. They seized all my assets." Cool. So she'll wink you guys to your room, and Safia will lay Cypher, aka Xander, onto your big bed. And the first thing he says is like, "Yeah, this is huge." He's like in the middle of a super king size bed. He looks a little dwarfed because he's like 5'9".
I mean, it's still a one-person bed. It's just
one big person.
Yeah.
Extended in length, not in width. And of course, there's still the wheelchair folded up in the corner.
Very cool. I love that. I love that a little bit. And Cypher says, "Remind me later, Seth, to ask about the porridge." She's like, "Shut up."
I'll like put my hand on Cypher's forehead.
It's cold. It's very, very cold.
Oh. But he's sweating up a storm.
Yeah.
I'm taking one of these arms, and it's just like tentacles are kind of wrapping around and just like touching up points. I'm just trying to get some readings.
Okay, cool. I think you're unleashing your powers.
Okay.
I am also doing that thing, but with magic.
Amazing. You should also do that.
I did a 7 with mine.
All right. So what you get is that there are nanites in his blood. They seem to be naturally occurring with Cypher. They seem to be part of whatever mutant abilities he has. And they are being affected, attacked. There's some kind of disease that's inside him and are actively attacking his regular red and white blood cells as well as these nanites that are in his blood.
I rolled the wrong thing, Rich, so
Okay.
I'm
We'll
going
just
to
throw it out.
roll correctly.
Can I? Is it an actual biological disease attacking? Since
Viridian can confirm that this is a curse.
something's attacking his both the nanites in his system and his traditional blood cells.
He's been affected by a curse. I wonder if that could be part of the Spire's defenses.
Well, your turn.
Cypher says, nope, they don't. That's not how they work.
Do you think he picked something? Go ahead, John.
Just that didn't seem likely.
Do you think he picked something up while you guys were in that cross-dimensional space?
I hadn't even considered it, Saf says. That makes sense. But I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't know magic. I just do this.
I just look around him and look at his hands, just looking for evidence of the curse that I might be able to see.
Ooh. Are you angling towards a specific move, or?
I think it's just set dressing for now, since we already learned what's going on from Viridian.
Okay.
So I don't want to follow up with the same thing.
Atlas will probably say, maybe Fraggle Rock could help, but I gave that off to Mooncaller, so.
Oh, the sword.
Yes, Fraggle Rock.
I don't correct him because it's too funny. Also, I'm not particularly wedded to saying that correctly.
Yeah, Safia doesn't really understand this back and forth, but she just sits down on the bed and starts putting a washcloth on Xander's head.
Well, I think, first of all, we should try to get his body temperature up because it's dangerous right now.
Like a warm bath or something?
Or something. And I actually swipe around on a first aid app on my phone just to double check, because body temperature is one of those squirrely things where if you do what seems intuitive, you might really fuck something up.
So I'm comfortable saying not even going to do a die roll. You guys can figure out what needs to be done to kind of triage.
I think I'm
sorry?
I start to kind of separate off tentacles off myself. And it's metal against skin, if it's not warmed up a bit, it's not fun. I've learned that. And I can definitely regulate the temperature of my tentacles.
Okay.
So
Cool. I like that.
I would kind of they just kind of wrap around, not tightly, but just start warming.
So, Viridian, to unspool a little bit more, you did roll a 12. You're very sure this is a curse. There's something very specific. It seems to have been triggered from exiting Spike, and there seems to be a higher level of whatever should happen if you exit Halcyon City. It is not something like you have no notes of Spike employing, because Aegis doesn't employ magic users on their, like, that's just science. It's another kind of science. And so they have agents that can analyze that kind of tech, but they wouldn't put a curse on someone to effectively over time slowly kill them if they escape.
Well, that's good to know. I know that correlation doesn't imply causation, but the fact that this happened at that point and that the defining moment was taking that cross-dimensional trip makes me believe that this has something to do with that. So I'll let other people talk for a minute while I think.
I'm like, I think I would join in the conversation of mulling over ideas. I think I would have also made that kind of connection of something in, and if I can steal a Wildstorm / Authority thing, bleed, the space between dimensions. Like, do we think? I mean, it seemed pretty empty in the bleed, but at the same time, we saw 2 other people when we were in there, and if there's that much traffic, we can assume there's other things. It would be a bit.
Yeah. Like you're thinking interdimensional leeches.
Possibly. I mean, Viridian, could you send something in? If I made a little probe, could you leave it in between?
I think I could. Keeping track of it so that we can get the...
I mean, I don't know
I
if I
can
can
take
keep the
it.
signal, but we can record and then bring it back.
It's not really like there's a map. So I don't know that I can go to a specific spot in a place that by definition doesn't have any specific spots.
I mean, that might help.
Yeah, no, I can try, or I can go. I can try just going across and holding it, holding your probe. Forget I said those words.
Yeah. I mean, just that there's no space. If space isn't an issue, it isn't an issue. Everywhere is everywhere.
Space time.
Sure, I'll absolutely. If you make something, I will send it over, and then retrieve it later and see what we can find out.
I'm like mulling over what I could send. Like, it's like I could send just a recording thing, but then I don't know what's needed to record. So, but I could send something that's intelligent. So I'm like, I hold up the little massive tentacles. which for some reason I now imagine is formed into a cat, roughly. I may have been tinkering.
cat.
Yeah. I think it's that amount of tentacles.
Cat-sized tentacle mass. Okay.
Would you be okay taking a little trip? Not long.
Yes, Mama.
Well, part of you agreed on calling me Anisha, but fine. I hold it out to Viridian.
Before I take it, since we're doing this, I'm going to. We established I have some pouches or pockets that have various stuff that I've never actually reached into. And I'll take out a small quartz crystal and focus on it. And I'm basically trying to add to the sensorium of what we're recording with. So I'm basically trying to do my own version of what Unisha just did.
Okay.
But let's be clear. Mine's better because mine's in the shape of a cat.
I use illusion to make the quartz crystal be in the shape of a cat.
There's a moment in the transition from quartz crystal to cat that the head looks a little bit like a certain quartz alien being, but then it's a cat. Cool. So you guys have two things to send to the other side. Safia says, okay, I can. Do you want me to take one? Are you doing it? If you guys were there, you have a different method to do the thing?
I don't care for it, but I can do it.
Okay, either way.
It's better that you stay here with Cypher. I'll take the risk.
Okay.
So holding a cat-shaped bundle of technology in one hand and a cat-shaped former quartz crystal in the other hand, I will zap myself into cross-dimensional space.
I think that needs an unleash.
The bleed, as it were.
That's it. It's now canon that was someone else's canon that we're borrowing.
It's a hit.
Cool.
But it's. I'm gonna say that it's. I'll actually role play this out if you don't mind. But I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take a condition.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna take a frayed. And I'll just summarize what I'm role playing out as I come back. But there's a moment when it's when he comes back where Viridian is shaking a little bit and looks terrified, and says, "Sometimes the abyss stares back."
Nice.
And then sort of shakes himself, but he does kind of look over his shoulder every now and then. It's a creepy place.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to go there lightly. The quartz cat and the tentacle cat have not changed.
I'm doing the doggy head tilt.
Nothing seems to have gotten worse or better for either of the two test subjects.
They're supposed to be gathering data. right?
Sure, but they haven't changed shape. There are no
Okay,
black veins. They don't seem to be
cool.
affected physically.
Yeah.
They don't appear to be detrimentally affected.
Okay. Now,
Just to be clear, did we leave it them in the bleed, or have we brought them back with us?
Oh
as well?
yeah, that's.
Sure, yeah.
I was unclear. I thought you were bringing it back. Are you leaving it?
Well, the point was kind of to let them have some time to gather data.
I apologize. I thought you were zip zopping. Okay, cool. So you go, you drop them off, you come back, the abyss stares back. You don't have either of the cats with you. I apologize.
There we go. Yeah, so Viridian comes back a little freaked out, but attempting to hide it.
I'll put a hand on Viridian's shoulder, just trying to be steadying. Well, I guess now we wait for more information from the cat probes, but
Are you trying to comfort or support? Yeah. Okay, you should do that too.
all right, I'm gonna give it a try. It's not great, but I'm gonna do it.
What did you say?
It's great.
You roll back boxcars.
Bam!
Nice.
Awesome.
Cool. So that little moment there of care for you allows you on a hit. They hear you. So Viridian, you can mark potential clear condition or shift labels if you open up to her, which I think the abyss stares back is a bit. And maybe if you do a little bit more color, I'm comfortable with that.
That's not really a place we should be, but I guess I'll be going back at least once more. And I sort of shudder again. But then I will take the comfort and clear the afraid so that I don't have to roleplay half an hour of reluctance of Anil not wanting to go back and get the cats.
I think while they're having that conversation, they're like standing next to Atlas and like, do you think they're going to be okay? I mean,
no.
we're gonna get it back.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave it in the bleed.
No. But all this interdimensional travel is not really good for. Well, it's not really good, I guess.
But I mean, it's not a biological system, so. But then again, the curse was attacking the nanites.
Well,
Mm.
you send in your tentacles. You sent in the crystal thing. That's not the same as a person, though.
No.
I could go.
They'll be fine. Oh. Mm.
No.
So I just go back to being worried.
Intense silence.
Yeah.
Does as this has gone on, does getting him closer to the spike appear to be having any?
No. It appears to have had no beneficial effect.
Well, that seems one hypothesis.
Oh, crud. I just had a thought.
What's going on?
And Viridian may say that out loud.
What you did.
Remember who put him in the spike?
Mambo?
Yes.
Mambo. Punched her once, I'll do it again.
Well, hold on, because that actually makes this way more complicated.
We break into Crusader Tower. We kidnap Mambo. And we make her tell us how to fix it.
And then she totally knows that it's us, and we're...
Cypher is.
And
we
where
were
Cypher is, and that we're helping him.
We break into Crusader Tower. We access her lab.
Her mumbo jumbo.
That.
Good one. Knuckles.
And we take that and we use it to fix this.
Hmm.
We don't even have to take it. We could just make copies.
That's assuming she keeps some decent paperwork.
She's actually got a pretty big library in there. Avian gave me the tour.
She does. I mean, I think we shouldn't rule out that something happened in the bleed. But once we, I'll go back in a couple minutes and get the cat probes. But yeah. I'm just planning the next step if that doesn't give us any information.
Which might be mumbo jumbo.
So I jumped the gun before, but you go retrieve it, and nothing has changed about the quartz cat nor the tentacle cat.
The tentacle cat? Cat Thulu?
Cat Thulu, yes.
Well, I guess we're trying to get the data that they were there to collect to see if we learn anything. So I'm assuming that we're just not learning anything from these, that there is nothing.
Correct. There are deleterious effects from being in this bleed, but they are not related to the curse that seems to be affecting Cypher, aka Xander.
Okay.
Well, at least that means we're not going to be like a nod towards like, the veins and stuff.
Safia looks up from the bed where she's been laying beside Cypher, trying to keep him warm. I'll go get Mambo. That's no problem. If she's killing him, then I don't mind. You guys don't have to be involved. I'll just head right over there and do that.
that seems like a terrible idea.
Well, I don't want you guys to get in trouble. It sucks.
You already got into trouble with those folks.
Yep.
Cypher, I'll like sit on the bed. Cypher, what about the Transcendent Crusaders was worth going to the spike for?
So it wasn't like I said this is worth going to the spike for. That wasn't my original plan.
Sure.
I think you're trying to pierce his mask, and thank you so much for calling out that move.
Absolutely. Here goes nothing. Does anybody want to try help?
Left.
There's one team pool left.
Squeak.
This would be a great moment to use that.
It might be. I mean,
Yes.
it's up to you guys. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I think Atlas is still like he's still chiming like, look, this is not the time for playing coy anymore. This looks bad.
I've been looking into them too, and they seem pretty shady. If you have something important to say, I'll listen.
Listening.
And I think rather than throwing something together and because of time, we will leave that question out there. And that'll be how we begin our next issue, my friends. So let's move to our end of session stuff. Remember, it is a question of, did you grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team? And I will call upon Paul first.
Closer to the team and armature, although you've already modified my labels a couple times or had the opportunity.
I did once, but I had the opportunity for twice.
Armature helped look after my mom, and I think that's enough of a reason.
Cool.
Do I also lose a label? Not a label, lose a condition on that one?
It's if you can either clear condition or mark potential.
I'm just going to clear condition.
Okay.
I'm going to up your savior again and danger down one.
All right. Jan, Atlas, did he grow closer, grow into his own image, or grow away?
Absolutely closer. Very tempting to say Seraph, but Seraph already became my love and already shifted labels. So I'm going to say Armature for making him a new home.
Welcome to my transdimensional portal that's adjacent to the bleed, which is terrifying. Yay.
Yes.
Just close your eyes when going through the door.
Atlas is tough. He can take it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
For that offer of going in to the bleed, I want to put his savior up. 1. And his superior down 1. For the same reason.
Very well. I seem to have. Oh,
Are you marking potential or clearing a condition?
I am marking potential because I don't have any conditions. And like I said before, for my rollover, my fifth rollover, I took thick and thin skins.
Nice. Seraph.
Definitely closer. I feel like Atlas made me feel welcome.
Oh. Let's have a look at your character sheets. I mean, yeah, just in line with what Atlas was saying before, he's gonna pump up your danger.
Okay.
And down mundane.
Okay. Got it.
And armature.
Closer to the team. Viridian for putting that trust in me. To,
Let me take a look.
to, help his mum when he had things that he had to do.
I am going to oh man.
And I'm removing angry.
Your savior is already at 2. So, because it was family related, I'm going to raise your mundane by 1.
Okay.
And lower your danger.
Okay. And I removed angry.
Good. Real quick before we move to feedback, I just want to check in. I was looking at the schedule. If I remember correctly, we had one person who can only be here half of a session next Sunday, and Jan couldn't make it. Is that right?
Yeah.
So we talked about no game, but possibly other stuff, but not our masks game. Is that what we were talking about?
Yeah.
Which means that it will be the 10th will be our next session. I have a lot of time to think about that answer.
Nice.
It will be good.
But also,
we will expect the best answer.
It just means that on the morning of February 10th, I will scramble and freak out. Because I have general ideas, but I just want to make sure it's a good, succinct answer from Cypher's point of view. Good.
Shall I quickly answer?
I might actually be able to make it, so let me double check that.
Oh, okay. While you're double checking, we have the shame question.
Yes. We did not do the thing when I'm confronted with my shame.
Oh, damn it.
So that should have been superior down, danger up. I can do that now, because it would have happened. But yeah. And I'm carrying around my shame.
I was about to say, now you've got like Shame Cat, so
actually that is the name.
Shame Cat.
Well, at least the meta name of
I'm still calling it Project Cat Fuse.
I kind of like it.
I've liked all the names that I've heard, but
occasionally the cat will just say shame.
But did I take steps to make amends for my shame?
Yes.
That's a confusing question.
Well, it's confusing what we did in the fiction, probably vis-a-vis that thing.
Yeah,
I think there was some steps being taken in this session.
There's definitely a shift in the relationship.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
Okay,
I mean, steps aren't always directly forward, right? Sometimes it can be a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right.
It's
and
definitely
forward,
a sidestep rather than a negative or positive thing.
Yeah, but I mean that's still there was a progression in dealing with your shame in whatever way.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of sessions where that didn't happen.
Yeah. Okay, I've marked next bit, and I will flat superior. Oh, okay. There we go. I have done the shifting from being confronted with my shame.
Cool. Good. So that will bring the mechanics ender piece of the game to an end. And so now we can move into feedback. Now, wanted to open this up. I've had over the last few weeks in my other Masks game that I was running as part of Gauntlet Comics, player had requested feedback off air. So wanted to offer that up to you guys. I never really have. Is everybody okay with it staying on air? Anybody want to message me, say, you know what, I'd rather take it off air?
Online is fine for me, but I'm also fine.
Yeah, I mean,
offline.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool either way.
Yeah, I'm fine with feedback being on air.
Okay.
If I had anything that I wanted to be off air, I would just take it up with you separately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's this is my home group. You guys are my home group, so I feel the same way. So,
Yeah.
Paul?
Yeah, I basically feel the same way about this as I do about pips versus numerals on D6s.
Nice callback. Nice. Cool. Let's do our normal roses and thorns, my friends. Thorns. I will thorn myself to say that I didn't have an immediate ready answer from Cypher's point of view for a question that was incredibly obvious. I just was like, my brain wasn't there, and rather than throw something out, I cliffhangered you guys, and which means this has been a 3-issue limited miniseries about the fall of Castle Blackstone or something like that. Sorry. In my thorn.
I don't know. I think that's a good last page lead into the next story. The story continues in this other arc. Dun dun dun. But
I think so too.
Cool. Jen, you spoke up, so you get to go first for thorns.
oh dear. All right. Goodness. Thorns this session. I feel like despite a lot of description going on, that we were a bit locationally confused in the early session.
I agree. I think my scene framing was a little shoddy. Yeah, I agree. There was definitely at that point where people weren't like, wait, who's where? I gotta work on that.
I just feel like there was a lot of confusion about the actually very simple layout of there being this underground cavern between what's probably a set of stairs or something and the map room itself.
Yeah, I played fast and loose with placement, and it caused some confusion there. Thank you. Anything else?
Nothing's quite jumping to mind right now.
All right, something jumps up and you want to add in, feel free. Jan, you spoke up second, so now you get to go. What thorns did you have?
No, that's fine. I mean, God damn it, Rich. We were specifically setting up a scene where we could have a triumphant celebration, and you go like, I'll just throw something in there so you can... Like,
I know.
We managed to steer away from that, but that was still like, come on. We were
Charlie Foxtrot.
We were specifically setting the scene up so that we could have this triumphant celebration. And then
I know. Not only we, like I said, I immediately set it up, and then I circumvented the whole thing. And it's normally you guys, but this one was on me. I wear this mantle of shame. I will shut up. Sometimes I just need to shut up.
Give us time to have that celebration.
No, I blew
I
it.
have to say this: Rich owned that shutdown.
Absolutely.
Ooh, timely.
Yes.
That was all me. That was rough. Thank you, Jan, for pointing that out. That is a definite mistake I will learn from. Alex or Paul, who'd like to go first?
I thought a self thorn you set up me being able to outperform an adult super, and I completely missed it until about 5 or so minutes after the scene, and I was like, oh, I could have done one of my drives that he set it up for me, and like, oh.
I mean, the dice also worked a little bit against you on
Yeah, but I didn't even think to like aim for that as a thing, like do some sort of confrontation.
Well, I'll continue to milestone along those drives. I really want you to cycle.
I appreciate you
I
laid
think
that out for me.
A team of adults attack you and only you. Me as a GM move to separate them, and then you'll be surrounded by a bunch of adults.
Thorns. Actually, this isn't a thorn, so because I really like the fact that Atlas is like, yeah, they're in danger. when I was like, kind of, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna try and reach out for some support from Atlas, but then he just shut it down, and I actually really liked that response. So I was happy with that.
Hi, rival.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't get to do a little. I was kind of hoping to have some sort of conflict, a bit more chance for conflict with Hasid. I didn't get that, but doing that would have meant hogging in on Seraph's scene. So so it was a kind of double-edged sword on that. Yeah. That is all.
Thank you very much. And last but not least, Paul, what thorns did you have?
My primary was the thing that Jen brought up, and that's really all I've got. Is that just sometimes it seemed like we were in separate rooms, and then all of a sudden everybody could see everything, and then that's it.
Yeah, that's a fault of me trying my really hardest to kind of shove where you guys could have team, because I felt like you weren't able to do a whole lot of team maneuvers, and so I was trying really hard to push everybody together, even though it didn't make a whole lot of logical sense. So yeah, I'll just respect those boundaries, because I'll leave it up to you guys if you want to traverse them. Really, I think is what caused a lot of that confusion. Paul, will stick with you for roses.
This may start off sounding like a thorn, but it's actually a rose. I rolled like crap, but that means I'll be taking my 6th advance.
Ooh, are you going for an adult move?
I am.
Yeah.
He does seem the most.
What you think you're after?
Either Paul really wants to take persuade with best interests, but Anil is really, really leaning towards wield your powers.
Wield your powers is so cool.
Wield your powers is real good.
But persuade with best interests is also really neat.
I like it's they are all good.
You can only
it will be one of those two. Yep, it will be one of those two. And I liked once we did get to our sharing drama time, I thought it was very nice. I liked it very much. And sort of coming full circle with Sister Occultus feels good to me, despite the fact that she almost became that marshmallow that you started chatting with someone around the campfire and forgot was on the stick. And I'll stop there. I thought it was a good session.
Good. Thank you, Paul. Alex, what roses did you have?
I really liked all the little. Seraph had some really good lines, like with when going against the seeds. I really dug that. I liked that I really liked the reveal of Sister Occultist being a villain. I thought that was a really good choice and a really nice bringing back and adding texture to the whole family dynamics of Castle Blackstone. Atlas is moving in. I enjoyed the problem of being left with not many tentacles and having to make the decision of, do I leave her to her own devices or go and help downstairs. I have a shame cat / other names. So, and I'm interested in how that's going to develop. So,
lying.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. As long as it doesn't become like this giant saber-tooth cat that's all like tickle and. Okay, that's actually kind of neat. Jan, what roses did you have?
I mean, in addition to the Sister Occultist reveal, I very much enjoyed the Daiushi reveal of not being so bad after all. Like, there's a reason why she's allowed in this household. Enjoyed that very much. There was a good balance of action and emotional stuff. Like all the conversations that were had. Definitely, Viridian was super badass again. It was enjoyable, awesome.
Excellent, thank you, Jan. Jen, finish this off with roses.
Oh, I'm gonna follow up repeating that. Yeah, good action, good drama this session. I think there was a good mix. We got to have some good character moments between the PCs, and that was quite cool. We all got to sort of flaunt our strengths, which was quite cool. I feel like a bit of setting building actually happened this session in a really, unobtrusive, intuitive sort of way. What with Mr. Everywhere and a handful of other things, and discussing a bit more about the legacy of the Grand Maguses and so on. I can't remember what the Arcanists. Sorry. So that was cool. It's cool to see more tie-ins into some overarching stuff that's been picking at the back of my brain since probably the first or second session. So that's cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to more of it.
Good. As am I. I was really pleased with how awesome you guys were, even amidst the failures. I quite enjoyed this session. It was I knew it was a challenge coming in, right? Because the fight in Castle Blackstone, I knew would not be an entire session. I did not want to stretch it to an entire session. So was like, this could be an oddly timed, like a mid session where we like tail off one and pick up another and end it. And I was worried that it could be unsatisfying, but I think it got to a pretty good cliffhangery type deal, and we can have a reveal, although reveals are always best when they happen at the end of an episode, so you have a chance to stew on it. So that's over. Eating that one. That's mine. Thank you guys so much. And in 2 weeks, we will pick this back up. And we just have a handful of sessions left as we do 3 in February and a couple in March. And then we switch to a new game. So thank you all so much and have a great afternoon or evening.
Goodbye.
Bye.